done with our first week of this very short class, but I wanted to first say congratulations. You're getting through the material. You're plunged right into it, and I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're able to see history in a little different way maybe than you've experienced it in the past. As you already should notice that we don't put a lot of focus into memorization of dates or names or just the what occurred in history, but we're looking at the why and the significance. That's such a big important thing when you get into college level history classes, is the significance of why certain things occur and how that affects individuals and society both then and now. So that's why we're looking at stereotypes, which also dives into identities and dives into technology and society formation and comparison. A couple things, the quizzes, sometimes the questions are getting mixed up. Don't worry about that. If I'm grading them by hand, so you might see that your grade goes up on those quizzes. A lot of the effort should really be put into those discussions because you don't have any papers for this class, and history is a humanities subject, which means writing and explaining history and understanding it and letting it sort of marinate in your brain and then being able to explain it is such an important tool and skill to learn. That's why the discussions are so important. Now remember, every time you do a discussion, you always have a couple days to do responses. So I am looking for you to respond to at least 2 people in your small group and just explain what they're saying. You could disagree. You could explain what you liked about it. You could say maybe what you saw things differently, but maybe write a paragraph or so. Don't just say I like it, good job. Explain it, get into it. Think of it like we're in a classroom and you're having a discussion. Or think of it even better if you're in a coffee shop and you're having a discussion about this material. Having a discussion about Enkidu and what's going on in the Epic of Gilgamesh, right? And you're having a dialogue. That makes it so much more interesting and rewarding than if I said, memorize this, when did this happen, who wrote it? That's pointless. The point is to engage into it. Put yourself in that time period and see, hey, what has changed? What society, where you can compare it to other texts, ancient texts, or compare it to the way we look at ourselves today. That makes history come alive. So you always have 2 days after discussion is due to write those discussion responses. All this stuff, information, both the discussions and the quizzes, are all aiding to that final exam. So nothing's kind of done in vain. Everything connects together. So when we get to the very last week, which is going to focus on the exam, the same questions from the quiz should be in there. Some information to elaborate on for long answers in the exam will be from your discussion. So all this ties together and weaves together for the big finale of your exam. So it's good to do it now, not only for the points now, but also for a study tool to help it sink in. So when we get to that final exam, you're going to rock that, finish this class strong, and look at history in a little different way. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll be in touch next week.